Most women don't lose good men because they did something obvious. They lose them because of patterns they don't even realize they're repeating. And two of those patterns, number 5 and number 6, are the ones almost no one talks about. But they quietly destroy attraction faster than anything else. Almost every woman is making at least one of these mistakes. But the dangerous part? It doesn't feel like a mistake at all. It's not about being too available. It's not about texting first. And it has nothing to do with playing games. The real reason good men pull away is much deeper. And most advice completely misses it. In this video, I'll break down 7 hidden mistakes. But when we get to number 5 and number 6, you're going to see something most people never notice. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Because these behaviors don't feel wrong. They feel like love. They feel like effort. They feel like you're doing everything right. But underneath, they're slowly destroying the very connection you're trying to build. Mistake number 1, performing confidence instead of embodying it. There's a version of confidence that's performed, arms crossed, voice controlled, boundaries announced, and there's a version that's simply lived. Good men, the ones with emotional intelligence and self-awareness, can feel the difference immediately. When a woman performs confidence, she signals insecurity underneath. When she embodies it, she doesn't need to announce anything. She simply is. The mistake most women make is believing that assertiveness is confidence. It isn't. True confidence is quiet. It doesn't seek validation through behavior, it already knows its own worth, and that knowledge radiates without effort. But this is only the outer layer of the pattern. What's driving it runs much deeper than most women realize. Mistake number 2, auditing his emotions instead of regulating her own. When a woman constantly monitors a man's mood, analyzing his tone, checking his energy, asking, "Are you okay?" more than twice a day, she's not being caring. She's being anxious. The impulse feels like love. But to a man with emotional maturity, it reads as surveillance. This behavior is rooted in anxious attachment, the unconscious belief that if you can just manage the emotional atmosphere, you can prevent abandonment. But the result is the opposite. It creates pressure. It creates distance. A high-value woman regulates her own emotional state first. She doesn't outsource her inner calm to his behavior. And yet, emotional regulation alone is not enough. There's a subtler dynamic at play that most women never examine. Mistake number 3, over-explaining and over-justifying. Watch what happens when a woman feels misunderstood or questioned. Often, she'll explain. Then re-explain. Then apologize for the explanation. This impulse to be fully understood, to close every gap, to leave no room for misinterpretation, it's exhausting to witness, and it signals one core thing, a lack of trust in her own perception. When a woman is secure, she says what she means once, clearly, calmly, and lets it land. She doesn't need the other person to agree immediately. She doesn't need resolution in the next 5 minutes. The compulsion to over-explain is often a symptom of a deeper wound, the fear that she won't be chosen if she isn't perfectly understood. That fear, left unexamined, does far more damage than any misunderstanding ever could. Mistake number 4, making him the emotional project. This one requires careful attention, because it disguises itself as love. Some women unconsciously enter relationships in healer mode. They're drawn to potential. They see what a man could become. They invest in that version of him, often before he's asked them to. This creates an imbalanced dynamic where she is giving more than he is receiving, or receiving more than he can reciprocate. And eventually, he steps back. Not out of cruelty. Out of discomfort with the weight. Good men don't want to be projects. They want to be seen. The distinction matters. But what lives beneath this pattern, the reason women enter healer mode, is perhaps the most psychologically revealing part of all. Mistake number 5, rushing emotional intimacy. There's a particular kind of openness that feels liberating to a woman and overwhelming to a man. When emotional intimacy is accelerated, when deep vulnerabilities are shared in week 2, when the future is discussed in week 3, it doesn't build connection. It creates pressure. This isn't about playing it cool. It's about understanding that real intimacy has a pace. It builds through consistent, reciprocal moments, not through volume of emotional disclosure. A woman who understands attachment theory knows that secure bonding requires time to accumulate. Rushing it doesn't accelerate love. It destabilizes it. And the reason women rush is rarely impatience. It's something far more unconscious, something that points directly to the relational wound most women carry into every relationship they enter. Mistake number 6, shrinking to avoid being too much. This one is quieter than the others, and far more damaging. Some women, having been told directly or indirectly that their needs are excessive, their emotions are overwhelming, or their presence is a lot, have learned to make themselves smaller. To filter. To hold back. And they bring that habit into relationships with good men who would, in fact, welcome their full presence. The tragedy of this pattern is that the woman thinks she's protecting the relationship. She's actually preventing it. She's building walls dressed as grace. A man who is emotionally mature doesn't want a curated version of you. He wants access to someone real. And when that access is quietly denied, even elegantly, he drifts. But none of this compares to the final insight. Because what follows is the pattern that underlies all the others. Mistake number 7, choosing familiarity over compatibility, the deepest one. Here is the most uncomfortable truth of this entire conversation. Many women are not losing good men because of what they do. They're losing them because of what they unconsciously choose. The nervous system doesn't seek happiness. It seeks familiarity. And if a woman grew up in an environment where love was unpredictable, conditional, or absent, her nervous system will register inconsistency as intimacy. It will register calm, steady love as boredom. So when a genuinely good man shows up, present, stable, emotionally available, something inside her doesn't fully recognize it as love. And she pulls away. Or she creates distance. Or she picks a subtle fight. Or she convinces herself that something is missing. She doesn't lose good men because she doesn't deserve them. She loses them because she hasn't yet learned to feel safe with them. That is not a character flaw. It is a nervous system response. And it can be rewired. But it requires one thing first, the willingness to look at the pattern without self-judgment. If something in this video made you pause, even for a second, and think, that's me, don't ignore that. Because that moment, that's awareness. And awareness is where everything starts to change. Most people will watch something like this, feel it, and then go right back to their patterns. But a small percentage don't. They sit with it. They reflect. They start seeing themselves differently. And over time, that's what changes everything about who they attract. If you're becoming that kind of woman, the one who wants to understand herself, not just fix outcomes, then this channel is for you. Not for entertainment. Not for quick answers. But for clarity. So subscribe. Not because this video resonated, but because you're ready to stop repeating what you now see. And once you see it, you don't go back. I'll see you in the next video.